GM everyone. So today I want to show you and teach you how to explain the value offering of the reply guy service. This, however, does not only go towards offering the service to clients, but you can also better understand what the workflow is for being a reply guy and how it can bring value to either you or to your clients. So, in the previous YouTube video and newsletter, I've spoken about, what does the reply guy do and how do you utilize lists and how do you use the search bar with a prompt in order to get started. However, today is a little bit different, but I do want to give a quick recap about the reply guy service or tactic. You want to build genuine relationships, engage with valuable content. You want to have target audience, big accounts for maximum reach, meanwhile, smaller accounts for mutual growth. You want to get more impressions, more followers, and build meaningful connections. You can provide value, insights, extra information, or, a different perspective even during certain times, along with using emotions such as humor, where you can put a relevant custom meme or a GIF. However, today I want to talk about the workflow of being a reply guy and what it actually means and how do you explain the value that you can bring to the table. So it starts with replying to content. When you reply to content, you gain impressions. When you gain impressions, you receive profile visits. When you receive profile visits, user checks content and then they decide to press the follow button. However, I do want to go into a little bit more detail here. So the first one is reply reply to content. What does this actually mean, right? So when you're replying to content, you first of all you want to be replying to the latest content. What does latest content mean? It means between 1 to 2 hours that the content goes out, but 2 to 4 hours sometimes is also okay because sometimes you don't have the whole day to just sit and scroll and wait for fresh new content. So 1 to 2 hour mark is usually completely fine, and that's how you generate a lot of impressions. However, if you want to generate even more impressions, you need to do something else. You need to actually reply to content that goes out within 1 or 2 minutes. And you want to do it to big accounts, whether you're using a list, the one that I showed you guys before in previous YouTube video and newsletter, or you can actually use X Pro, which is something I will cover later down the line in one of the videos and newsletters. So when you reply to content that's within 1 or 2 minutes that has large accounts, large accounts, this is actually how you get plus 10,000 to even 100,000 impressions from just one reply. That's how you actually do it, right? Along with using a meme, using a GIF, providing information or insights and stuff like that. So this is the first step. You want to be replying to the content that you see on your timeline. Then let's talk about the next thing, which is gaining impressions. But hey, I'm not that good at writing with this mouse, but it's okay. So gaining impressions, right? You want to be gaining as many impressions as possible. However, whether it's, let's talk about a client's profile specifically. When I say client's profile, I actually mean a company profile. But you can obviously apply this to your personal brand as well. And I guess if you're a ghostwriter and you're doing replies, it can also apply. However, when you work with gaining impressions for a company, you do want to use 3 pillars. And these 3 pillars, I like to call them impression farming. Then the next pillar is building relationships. This is so bad. And the next one is brand establishment. But hey, please don't mind my writing. So, when you have these three pillars, you ultimately want to know how to allocate the 100% into this. This ultimately comes down to your client, but usually the flow that I go is 60% of the replies are impression farming, then 30% of replies is building relationship, and 10% of the replies are brand establishment. The reason why I only say 10% for brand establishment is because this is very, very, very niche. Let's say you are a Web3 gaming company and you always talk about your characters, you always talk about yourself in other people's replies. It does not equate to impressions. However, sometimes it can be relevant, and that's why I think you should only focus on 10%. Meanwhile, something like building a relationship can be in any sort of manner of actually building it instead of farming impressions. So I do want to show you a few examples of impression farming, relationship building, and brand replies. So impression farming, right? You Here's a little hack for you, or a tip, or a golden nugget. You actually want to have in your list or notifications majority of the newsletter of the news that goes around Twitter and reply to that. So here's for one of my clients when we did a reply. It was about Warren Buffett and that he sold another 981 million. So I jumped onto it extremely quickly. As you can see, the post generated 18 million and I'm hiding the client. And I made a custom meme on the go. It's about time he has some fun with the money. The clock is ticking. Warren investment retirement. This actually got 226,000 impressions, which is actually up to this day still the best performing reply I have ever made. However, when you're building relationships, and we have Zeneca here as an example, hey, this was meant to be a bottom signal, and then Zeneca, are you adding fuel to the fire? How is the book going? This is also personalized because if you're Web3 native, then you know what people are doing. However, when you're building a relationship, you want them directly to reply to you and, feel like you know them and they know you to a certain extent. So that's how you build relationships. And then brand, maybe I should have sold instead of taking a screenshot. And then, so is the bull market over or something? I heard the IDO season is coming with a custom meme. This was brand, right? And the reason why it was brand is because this was a launch pad and IDO season is attached directly to the company. So this is an example of a brand. So then we go to next, receiving profile visits. And now we erase everything and we go to the next step, which is receiving profile visits. Receiving profile visits. Receiving profile visits. So replies catch people's eyes and they get impressions, and when they get impressions and they catch people's eyes, they ultimately go to your profile. So impressions, content, no. Impressions come from reply and then they go to your profile. Once they're in your profile, they actually check a few things. And those things are: one, your PFP; two, your bio; and three, your banner. And this is very important, right? Because this is the first impression you have on anyone that visits your profile, and it matters a lot more than everyone tends to think. And yeah, that's the next step. So after gaining impressions, you receive profile visits, they check your bio, they check your PFP, they check your banner, and the next thing they do is user checks your content. So this is very important, right? So when the user checks your content, obviously after your PFP, bio, and banner, they analyze what you are writing. They analyze. They analyze. And when they analyze, they have different sort of questions. First of all, it's like, is the account active? Is the account bringing value through the content that they're posting? Is it unique? Do they connect with the brand overall? And this is very, very important, right? Because if they go to your profile and it's a complete ghost town and your content is shit, sorry for swearing, and your copywriting is bad, even if your PFP banner and bio is good, they're simply not going to follow if they get nothing out of it. And the next thing, the final thing, is they decide whether to press that follow button or not. And that's the entire process in a nutshell. And this is a user journey that happens through the replies that you do through various methods. This is very important, that this flywheel, right? This flywheel only works if the whole brand and company is aligned. So the social media is aligned. The product team is delivering, for announcements, updates, and all of that. And anyone else, and what it ultimately comes to is the execution of the entire team in order for you to gain those followers and for any potential client or profile to follow you and interact further down the funnel if it goes beyond just the follow button. And that's very, very important. And it all starts with a spark from the replies. I do want to mention that everyone should hire a reply guy, and a social media manager should not be just a reply guy, because social media manager has way too many things to do, and to do even 50 to 75 replies, it could take 3-4 hours, and it's absolutely draining. So hire a reply guy. And I'll give you an example. One of our clients that we're working with, they are getting 300 impressions per post. They're getting 300 impressions per post, and they usually do times 2 posts a day. And that means that weekly they receive 4,200 impressions. And this is without the reply guy. After they started using the reply guy service, however, with 75 replies per day, Monday to Friday, we have generated them over 40,000 impressions. So imagine that they are getting 4,200 impressions, and with 75 replies per day, every day, Monday to Friday, they get over 40,000 impressions as we promised them. And our success rate is literally at 100%. All right. The last thing I want to show you is something from a legendary person in Web3. the goat of marketing. His name is Leon Abud. Paying $3K per month for a good intern to work on your brand account is a no-brainer investment. One good reply can land you 300K organic impressions. Just from that one reply, your CPM cost per 1K impressions of 100, which is cheaper than influencer marketing, which is 150 to 200 on average. That's all the proof that you need about the reply guy strategy. And I believe I have explained to you the value of offering the service. And that's it for this video. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a good Sunday. Goodbye.